What's up, guys? I'm back, but this time we've got a story for you. One we started before in the fuel pump episode. Well, why did I install a fuel pump into my car when I had one that was working? Because I was concerned that sitting in E85, which is hydroscopic, absorbs all sorts of water, and is extremely corrosive, that it could have ruined my fuel pump and caused failure while I'm under boost. No one wants that. So, next thing that I went and checked after this little guy. My injectors. I'm running Injector Dynamics 1000 cc top feeds. Now, I took these to a local friend who has an injector flow tester. If you need yours flow tested and cleaned, look him up. His name's Casey Barrett. Now, when we put these things in the flow tester, they were shooting, crooked and uneven. And after Casey cleaned them a few times for me, they looked perfect. Just an even cone, and they were all the same. After looking into the issue further and talking to Injector Dynamics, they asked what kind of fuel filter I was using, because I told them what the injectors looked like and that they got better after cleaning them. This little guy. This little Earl fuel filter you can get off, your parts store. I thought it was sick because it was small, clean in the engine bay, get rid of your big stock one, but it's not good enough. They've had a lot of injectors come back really dirty using these filters. So, what are we gonna do about it? Fuel lab. Look at that. It has a replaceable element. I think it collects particles up to 6 microns, which is tiny, and will keep our injectors healthy and clog free. So, it's important in this process to note that while we install this fuel filter, we're going to be installing new lines and fittings. You gotta run some water through these. Make sure there's just not any dust or particles or anything from when they were cut. And that way it's clean in between your filter and the injectors. A few days ago when I was planning the project, I was like, yeah, we'll get the parts here in time. I'm gonna order some nice new Vibrant Performance fittings. Some anodized black. Woo! Only one of them came. The other one was back ordered and I wasn't gonna get it in time for the dyno tune. So, had to source some ugly ones from a local hose and rubber supply store just to make it work for now. Am I gonna lose all of my hot boy cool points for using hose and rubber supply parts on my car? Please no. All right, so to get started, I'm gonna put my hair behind my ears so it looks like I have a mullet. Okay, now we're gonna remove my strut tower bar, swing it up, and get to our fuel lines down here. So it's easy to remove and connect our new lines. We're going to mount the fuel filter over here on the firewall, and then we are going to connect right here into our fuel rails. All right, got the strut tower bar out of the way. Right here, we have our return line where excess fuel pressure runs back into the tank. And right here, I think it's part of the evap system. I'm not exactly sure, but here's our fuel feed line. Just gonna remove this hose clamp, pull it off, connect our new one. All right, got the new fuel line on. That tiny hose clamp back there. And then we're gonna mount the fuel filter right there. Got our pilot holes. All right, so let's get all of our fittings installed on the fuel filter. Then we'll mount it into place. We'll slide the lines on it and tighten everything up. This is for the fuel coming in. 5/16 out of the hard lines in the car. And this is for the fuel going out to our fuel rails. As you know, I only use the nicest tools. So on the fuel filter, if you can see it, it's marked outlet. So it's directional, and that's where the fuel needs to travel out of the filter. So here's our inlet, which we're gonna use the 5/16 on. With AN fittings, you're supposed to get this snug and then 1/4 of a turn. This fitting for our 5/16 line will require a hose clamp. The other one is a push lock fitting. So it has super aggressive barbs. You push the line on and it locks to something like 3,000 PSI. All right, got both of our fittings on. So now we can mount this thing in the engine bay and put our hoses on. Honestly, I saw the guys at the hose and rubber store putting on push locks fittings. They must be really strong because they made this look really easy. It's not that easy. So here's where the filter is gonna sit, basically how it's gonna look. I'm just gonna get it mounted, tighten the mounts, and then hook up the fuel line to both ends, and I'll show you how it looks when we're done. Took a little more work than I thought to get that thing in there. It's in a really tight spot, but I'm hyped on it. It looks good. It's all black and sleek, and you don't even notice that ugly fitting because it's on the bottom and it's pretty hidden. So I'm stoked on how it turned out, but we got a lot to get ready before we dyno tune this thing. So we got to crank out a few episodes, but also huge shout out. Thank you for all of the orders recently. If you're watching this and you've been ordering product, yes, thank you for all the support. It's what makes this type of stuff happen so that we can create more cool videos, hopefully some more high production videos soon, and do more rad projects. So thank you guys. But check this out, see how it looks. Hit us up if you have some comments or questions, and let's keep growing this. Keep tuning.